Ants.
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 Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Across the Bifrost. This is the Mighty Thor podcast, where on each and every episode, we explore the world of Marvel's Mighty Thor. We are here today for a MCU review. I am one of your co-hosts, Ryan Doze. I am joined by my frequent member of the Warriors 3, co-host Faz. Faz, welcome to the review, man.
Good to be here. I'm ready for a ant-tastic time.
Oh my gosh. It's like Will is here with us. So for this review, we have a special guest, friend of the show and friend in real life. HAYLEY HOBBS from Source Pages is here to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. HAYLEY, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. I've been anticipating this podcast.
Oh my
Beautiful,
gosh.
HAYLEY. That's amazing. There's two of us.
This
Ryan's stuck with us.
Of course.
This is how I get the aneurysm that kills me. Okay, so
You brought us on.
HAYLEY, this is what the 12th time you've reviewed Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania?
Yeah, I think I'm coming up on 34 actually in 1 week, so it's
Every
going really
variant
well.
of HAYLEY has reviewed this.
That's almost as
Every
many times as she's
possibility.
watched the movie. She's been in theaters 36 times so far.
Oh my gosh. So we are
I don't work.
her job has become just going to theaters and watching Marvel movies on repeat, which doesn't sound like that bad of a gig.
I really wish that was true, and I do wish I had seen it more than one time.
So everybody, each of us has seen it once, and I too also wish I had seen it multiple times. I had an availability to go see it with my son, and my son said, "No, thank you. I would rather watch Incredibles." Also a superhero movie, but it kind of came out like forever ago. So
stabs in the heart.
Solid choice though.
I almost tricked him because he loves Spider-Man. I almost tricked him like, "Oh no, buddy, we can go see the new Spider-Man movie." But no,
gosh, don't traumatize him.
There is a Spider-Man reference in this movie. But yeah, I've only seen it once. We've all only seen it once, but we're here to review it nonetheless. We all had a really good time and can't wait to talk to you about Quantumania. We are, though, because we are a Thor podcast, there is a little bit of business we have to take care of beforehand. We're making the connection between Thor and the characters that are in this movie. And there's one big character in this movie that we really don't know a ton about until we actually watch this film. And that is
MODOK.
Yeah, MODOK. Oh, we're going to talk about MODOK. Don't you worry.
Good.
We are going to focus in on Kang. Kang is the new big bad in the Marvel Universe. So for our comic connection to Thor, we went all the way back to the 60s. And Faz is so excited to read Stan Lee writing. We went back to Avengers #8, the first proper appearance of Kang the Conqueror. And it contains all of your cast of heroes. You know, we got Captain America, we got Iron Man, and then we've got the 3 original Avengers that are the ones that we're going to really focus in on. That is Ant-Man, the Wasp, and our guy Thor. So let's hop in our time machines a la Kang, and let's go back to the 60s for Avengers 8. Faz, please. You got to start with kind of your expectation going into this comic and then how you were very disappointed.
So it's been a while since I've read I don't know if this counts as Golden Age or Silver Age or this era of comic, the Silver Age. It's been a while since I've read one of these. Everybody who listens to the show knows that I like Alligator Loki. One of the things I love about Alligator Loki is its economy of language. It only uses words when necessary. This one uses words a few more times than necessary to make a point. Now, before I get too in depth, I want to compliment it. On Marvel Unlimited, when you open up this comic, it congratulates you because there's currently a scavenger hunt going on for all of the big Kang appearances throughout Marvel Comics on Unlimited. Yeah. So it says, congrats, you found like the 3rd one or whatever. Here's your next hint. See if you can find them all so you can get to know Kang through all of his famous experiences. That is cool. That may be the only nice thing I have to say today. Apart from that, Kang has cool powers. The storyline exists and has a beginning, middle, and end. There's not too much sexism. It's
just enough.
So there is some.
It's the Wasp is normally treated like a real character, which is something that's good. The characters look cool. Like I like the 60s looks for everybody. Other than that, I think it's best that somebody else talk about this comic for me.
As I will tell you this, if you like your Janet Van Dyne or your Wasp depictions to be a little bit more, let's say, forward thinking, I would skip ahead a while. The 60s were not nice to Janet Van Dyne.
Well, you can see she's a damsel in distress here, or any woman.
Also, like Sue Storm, oh my gosh, like just 60s Fantastic Four stuff. Just you're rooting for Sue to just like kill all of them. and like people often don't know this. Janet came up with the name Avengers. And she like never gets credit for it ever.
And instead, as stated in this comic, she is whisked away by Iron Man and categorized as a courageous girl.
Yes.
Pretty sure she's a full-grown woman.
she is a fashion designer. She is like a socialite, and she is just relegated to being like, oh, that's a cute thing you did there, girly. Like it's not great. But the one thing we are introduced into this comic that is great is Kang the Conqueror. And there's so much Kang going around in the MCU. There is so much Kang, like Faz referenced. There's so much Kang to read. We could have picked so many different comics to connect Thor, Ant-Man, Wasp, and Kang because they intersect at so many different times. But this was the first time they ever faced off. And this comic lays some of the groundwork of what Kang would become and how the Avengers would interact with him in the future. Let me just give you a brief, very brief, like 30,000 foot view of this comic. The Avengers are getting together for a meeting because the government of the United States is like, hey, we've got a priority one mission for you, Avengers. And they're like, okay. They do their Boy Scout salute and they're like, we'll be right there. A UFO, which the editor feels the need to explain. He's like, by the way, UFO means unidentified flying object. Okay, just go back to your comic.
Sorry to jump in here
to you even more.
Yeah, and doesn't Thor say he's really concerned about national security, which is a very odd
I kind of
thing
hated
for
that
a
line.
Asgardian to care about.
Right.
U.S. national security is the most important thing to me.
It's like our national security is at risk. Thor, you don't live here, man. We've tried to tell you. It is funny how, like, in the 60s, the depiction of Thor is like Asgardian god, but also kind of like an American sympathizing Superman. Like, it's like he was part American citizen, but then it was also like they picked and choose when he was very Norse and very mythologized. It's weird. Like, anytime that he fights communists in the 60s, he is not from Asgard. He is from the good old US of A.
From Missouri.
Yes, he is Marvel's Superman. So the unidentified flying object is Kang's ship, and the Avengers go to basically be like, hey dude, what's going on? And Kang's like, I've come to conquer stuff, as Kang is wont to do. And Kang kidnaps them in a part of his ship where they are held paralyzed with this paralysis ray, because obviously, really in the 60s, you could just add any word in front of Ray, and it was probably going to show up in a Marvel comic. So they are captured by the paralysis ray, and the army is like, oh no, the Avengers, we're powerless, without the Avengers.
I really like your 60s voice, Ryan. You should use that.
Yeah,
for more comic reads.
I'm workshopping it for a one-man show. Janet gets away because she's a courageous girl, as Haley has said. She gets away and she runs back to she flies back to the Avengers mansion, and she's looking for something to kind of like anything to fix the problem of the other Avengers being kidnapped. Meanwhile, Rick Jones and the Teen Brigade, which I'm so glad this is not a thing anymore.
As a teenager, this made me very into Marvel Comics in the 60s. Loved the Teen Brigade. They got me involved. Between them and the very nice girl, I was hooked. So progressive.
We're gonna tune our ham radios and then go help the superheroes. They literally do start out as a group of kids just with a radio. And like I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. Yeah, I mean, radios are all the rage. Don't tell your parents about your secret radios. In Avengers 1, seriously, go read Avengers 1. Rick Jones and the Teen Brigade. Maybe
the teens are in the first Avengers issue.
They are in the first issue of Avengers.
It's for the kids, Faz.
Yeah. Faz, here's what you don't understand about the youths today. Is that they love radios and they love superheroes.
The youths
come
do
get
love
your bubble
superheroes.
gum and your stick of funny books, or well, I don't know. I give up.
Please stick a bubble gum in your funny books. Oh my gosh, this was almost a good podcast. And then we started talking about Rick Jones and the Teen Brigade.
Okay, so to bring it all back around,
there.
This comic is great for showing Kang's powers. They match up with a lot of the stuff we're going to see in the MCU. It is a nice introduction. They explain his story decently well. They connect him to other characters from Marvel canon so far. Like I think Ramatut is mentioned.
Yeah. Yep.
So in terms of a setup, it's a very, like, Stan Lee is still great at weaving stories. Obviously, he creates great characters.
Right.
Don't want to entirely shit on him for the long writing and the casual sexism, because it was the 60s and he was trying his best. But not my favorite comic. Appreciate it for what it is, as a time capsule in the very early stages of the Avengers. It's only their 8th issue they've had, right? So pretty cool that Kang's been around that long.
We're very early on. The Team Brigade and Janet kind of team up to rescue the Avengers. They get out, and Kang kind of cackles his way, through his world, his world-defying plan. They beat him by basically turning his armor into like rags, because that's where all of his like circuits and powers are, and they shoot like a special acid gun at him. Again, totally not making this up. They shoot an acid gun at him, and it deteriorates.
And his ship too.
And yes,
they left no stone unturned.
Because his ship's made of fabric, dear listeners and listener Prime.
And then someone shoots a missile that Iron Man's like, nope, not on my watch. And Iron Man shoots the missile, and it just like explodes into a mountain nearby, because why not? And then the Avengers, like, they see Kang fly into the atmosphere, and they're like, oh darn it, we can't catch him. Well, maybe next time, everybody. And then they, on the last page, they're like, Stan Lee does this whole freaking soliloquy about the Avengers, and I'm just gonna read it, and then we'll give final thoughts. Faz has already given me the finger to wave, and like, let's move on, man. But this is what Stan Lee decides to end the issue with. The Avengers will be waiting. Thus has it been. Thus it will ever be. So long as mankind is in jeopardy. So long as the mother planet, Earth, mother planet. Good grief.
What is that?
Kind of hot.
So long as the mother planet Earth may be menaced, so long as the forces of evil dare to challenge justice, the Avengers will stand ready to fight, to sacrifice, to perish if need be. I love that, to perish if need be. So
no point in dying if not necessary. It's only when required.
The mother planet Earth was, she was a courageous girl, is what she was.
So that liberty and hope shall ever live in the hearts of men. It's like, we get it, and you want to write the next great American novel. We get it.
The only issue I have, the only thing this is missing from being the perfect 60s Avengers issue is a conversation between Iron Man and Cap, where Iron Man says his most famous line, "You need some solid dick from an Iron Man."
That is maybe the greatest comic book panel to ever be created.
We'll cover that another time, Faz.
But yeah, so this issue, like Faz said, it lays the groundwork for Kang, and it's pretty hokey along the way. But Haley, did you have any thoughts about the story, the characters, anything that this comic brought up?
I very much enjoyed the over explanation of everything because it's so ridiculous. It's funny.
Right.
Do I want to read more than one issue at a time of it? Absolutely not. But when they see the UFO and they're like, something is happening, the door is opening, what could it be? And it's like, this is the worst / best thing ever. So it was fun to read, and yes, very much King that we saw in the movie, and so that was fun too.
It's kind of the equivalent of reading a bad B movie.
Yeah,
that like might have, but it's like I've been
Sharknado 1500.
Right. It's like, oh, I like tornadoes. Oh, I did not like this. I did not like this.
It's all tell, not show, right? Where it's like,
right.
Yes.
Kang is wearing purple and green. It's like, I can see that, Stan. He's right there. He's on the panel. He's got a blue face.
What also gets lost in here is that it's Jack Kirby art.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it's Jack Kirby art, but I wouldn't say it's Jack's best, because some of this is kind of like a little bit, too nerdy of a look at this. But like the inking,
Ryan's getting all high and mighty, everybody.
The inking is kind of thick and like very blocky at times. And I was reading it last night. I was just like, I don't know if I like the artwork here.
He did a nice job by Janet, though. She looked pretty good.
She did. Ryan, we can't make fun of every part of this. We can't make fun of every part of this, or people are going to think that we hate Stan Lee, and we love Stan Lee, and we love.
Well,
Jack
you've already
Kirby.
established that I hate Iron Man. So, which
that's true.
This did nothing to give me hope in Iron Man.
But now
It
you know he
wasn't
has a
his
secret
fault.
identity.
Everyone else was being stupid.
And on that note, so but we read that comic just to partially, when you have good friends that like talking about comics, everybody, you just kind of have to give them a reason to read some stuff that they know they're probably not going to love. I'm looking at you, Mr. Fazio.
Ryan, there could have been so many other Kang stories to have us read.
But you know what? We didn't. And if Will Rose was here, we would have done Citizen Kang, but we didn't.
Really? We would have done Citizen
prevalent.
Kang? Are you serious?
That's what the one that Will wanted to do.
We listened to this. We read this instead of doing. Oh my God, Ryan! I'm logging off the podcast. See you, listener Prime. Bye, Haley. Nice seeing you.
Faz.
So everybody, we're gonna take a brief break. I think Faz is kind of throwing a tantrum, so I don't know if he needs a bottle or something like that. We'll figure that out in the break. But on the other side of this break, we are going to leave the 60s behind, and we are going to jump into Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, our review here on Across the Bifrost.
Hey everybody, it's Faz. I've had my bottle. I took a nap. I feel a lot better now after listening to the Avengers 8 arguments. Anyway, I'm here to talk about our Patreon. If you guys like Across the Bifrost, if you like what we're doing around here and you want to help us out, it'd mean the world to Ryan, Will, and myself. We have a new tier called Listener Prime, where you get even more benefits, and you'll be maybe Ryan and my best friend. You'll replace Will Rose as maybe our best friend. So that's the kind of thing that you're into. That is an option you have available. So, go to Patreon. The link will be in the description, or the link will be on our Instagram. The link's all over the place. Join today if you love us and you like what we do. And as always, stay worthy.
Okay, everybody. We are back to talk about the main event. We are here to talk about Quantumania, the newest film from Marvel Studios. So here's how we're going to do this, because the movie is pretty simple to understand. The whole gang, the Ant-Man gang, gets sucked into the
spoilers. By the way, spoilers. Yes,
there are spoilers.
We're going to spoil it.
That was a very thorough spoiler alert.
There are spoilers.
No, I get it. We should have said this at the beginning. But yes, we're going to spoil everything. So if you haven't seen Quantumania yet, please go watch it first. And if you're not going to go watch Quantumania, this review will probably be confusing. So here we go. The Ant-Man gang, Ant-Man and the crew, get sucked into the quantum realm, and hijinks start to ensue. They get separated, and Cassie and Scott, they get, they kind of team up with this ragtag group of rebels who keep talking about the Conqueror. And then the rest of the gang, Janet and Hank, and oh gosh, no. Why can't I remember Evangeline Lilly's name, but I can't. Hope.
I'm the same way sometimes.
The reason you can't remember is because they gave her nothing to do in this one. So she's just there to be super competent. Yeah.
We will get to that. So the other three, they head off, and we find out that Janet knows things about the quantum realm that she has not been freely sharing before. So they meet up with Bill Murray, and Bill Murray turns his back on them and basically gives them up. And they are now being pursued by the Conqueror. We learn throughout the movie that Janet and Kang have a relationship where they were both stuck in the quantum realm, and Janet was part of helping Kang almost get out, but then she sabotaged him, and now he is stuck in the quantum realm unless he can get back to the core, his power source, to get out of the quantum realm and be unleashed upon the world. We find out that Kang was exiled to the quantum realm by the Council of Kangs that we learn a little bit more about in one of the credit scenes. But then a big fight ensues between the rebels and our team of heroes. They fight Kang and his faceless, robot soldier guys. Big fight ensues, and our heroes are victorious. This variant of Kang is defeated, and all is right with the world. As Scott's like at the end, he's like, "Oh, that's probably, none of that's probably going to mean anything." And of course, we know that we are headed towards Kang Dynasty and so much more in this phase of Marvel, with Kang as our big Thanos level bad. So that's kind of a very brief synopsis of the film. But Hayley, since you're our guest today, let's just start with, what were some of your thoughts coming out of this movie? What were some of your positives and maybe some of your negatives, if you had any, coming out of the film?
I agree with what you said, that this is straightforward, which we've been getting more of that in these standalone films, and I appreciate it because these are all building blocks leading up to our next big team up movie. So I think from that standpoint, it's great, and it does the job it's supposed to do. The longer I've sat with it, and it's, almost been a week since I saw it, the more I'm like, those post-credit scenes kind of overshadow the movie. And that's not a bad thing necessarily, because they're kind of gotten back to, oh my gosh, this gets me super excited for the next thing, which is how they used to be. And then in the middle, they've kind of just been whatevers, always enjoyable, but not that impactful. And when I think about the movie, honestly, some of the first thing I think about is that Loki scene. Ooh. And, I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait for Loki season 2 now. And then all the Kangs, and it's like, oh yeah, and then there was a movie before all of that. So I liked the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I wish Paul Rudd had gotten to be a little funnier than he was. But I understood too that they were trying to show how serious of a problem this being of Kang is. And so, there were some other things, but yeah.
Maybe to just piggyback off of that, do you think maybe Ant-Man was maybe not the right solo character to introduce Kang with, because of how serious Kang is and how kind of jokey and jovial Paul Rudd's Ant-Man usually is? Or did this kind of strike the right vibe for us? And Faz, feel free to, chime in as well, man.
I think that because the most important thing to Scott is Cassie, and that will make him turn serious more than anything. I think that I think that dynamic created the right way for us to meet this Kang, because he's so scary, and because too Scott's such a vulnerable Avenger. He doesn't really have, his suit is his powers. Other than that, he's just a guy. At the end, when Jonathan Majors is beating the ever-loving shit out of him, I was like, he might actually die in this movie. This might be the way it goes down. Okay.
Is Scott gonna die in this movie?
Yeah, it was scary, right? And so I think for that reason, I think they chose one of the weakest power level Avengers and one of the strongest forms of Kang to show what, like, the range of his threat maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, and I agree with that completely, because the Ant-Man movies are always so chill and funny. Having it be like, no, this is real. Even Paul Rudd can't joke around, I think was kind of the point.
Yeah.
And from what I've read, Kang was always going to be the villain of Ant-Man 3 before they'd even considered Kang as the big bad for the MCU.
Okay.
So this was always the shit gets real movie for Paul Rudd and Peyton Reed. So I think it was really nicely done, the way that they took this fun, someone's stealing a tiny lab, or someone's recreating the Pym particles, to this man will destroy the entire multiverse if you don't stop him today, Scott. It's a nice upgrade. Now, my thoughts on the movie are that this was the last straw. The MCU is dead to me. I now hate Marvel. I'm going to complain about it on Reddit forever. And anybody who's listened to me for more than 5 minutes,
I told you to keep your incel energy at home.
Anybody who knows,
there's going to be a bunch of courageous girls coming after you.
All of that is dumb. Obviously, I thought it was great. My initial thoughts out of the theater were, this was the most fun I've had at a Marvel movie in a long time. It was when I came out of The Rise of Skywalker, I was like, this was a super fun, wild ride. Don't want to think too much about it. It was just a lot of fun. This was a similar vibe. I was like, that was great. I had a hugely fun time. If I think about this too long, my opinion of the movie is going to drop down. But my initial impression was, this was awesome. It was everything I wanted it to be. It was a fun time in the theater.
Yeah. Don't get us wrong, listeners. Like, we're not sitting here as three like wannabe film critics on the internet. Like, we're here as fans of something that we've enjoyed for a long time, and like all of us, we enjoy Paul Rudd. We enjoy, like, Jonathan Majors is coming on the scene like a friggin' house of fire. Like, if anyone has seen trailers for Creed 3, like the third Creed movie with Jonathan Majors boxing against Michael B. Jordan, I can't throw enough money at that. Like, Jonathan Majors is he's on the track to become an A-list movie star.
Yeah.
And his acting chops are so good, and they're so well used here, because Thanos was a CGI performance that, like, Brolin did a great job. Like, I'm not saying Thanos wasn't a good character, but Jonathan Majors gets to act, and it's not him layered in a CGI costume. It's him. And I loved that, those dramatic moments that he gets with Paul Rudd, and they're just kind of going back and forth. And I kind of realized, I was like, oh my gosh, Paul Rudd is bringing out some of his best, like, dramatic chops in this movie. And like Faz said, we don't really get to see a lot of that, because most of the plots for the Ant-Man movies are like hokey heist stuff, which is great, because that's what most Ant-Man stories are. And I believe, like, that's what most of them really should be. And we do get a little bit of a heist in here when they try to, steal the core of the power source that Kang needs. But then in that last fight was my favorite part of the movie, because call me, I'm simple-minded for this, but I legitimately thought they were going to kill Scott at the end. Mm-hmm. Because we now live in the multiverse saga. So it's like, you can kill a character, but they don't really have to stay dead. And it's kind of baked into these phases of Marvel. I loved that last scene, because I believed Kang was going to kill Scott. I believed it, like hook, line, and sinker. And when he didn't, I was like, okay, man, that was a close one. Like, I believed the drama and the tension of it. And along the way, we got a lot of fun little moments. It almost felt like an adventure movie. I felt like it was kind of like a Star Wars movie, but a little trippier. That's kind of how I came out of it feeling. I was like, that was a really good trippy Star Wars movie. So we referenced earlier that Hope Van Dyne does not have much to do in this movie. So let's talk about Hope because she's part of the masthead. She's part of the title of the movie and really is underserved here. So, Haley, what was your thoughts about how they used or didn't use Hope in this film?
Well, my girlfriends and I think that the hair department hates Evangeline Lilly because her hair was utter trash. And it has been in most of the movies.
Right.
So there's that. That part was, I'm just gonna say, annoying. Her needling Janet and Janet not giving in. And it was, I don't know if they were trying to play it as like long lost daughter, mother trying to have this relationship they lost, but it was like, Mom, tell us what we need to know. No. Mom, tell us who that is. I can't. It was a little too contrived. Like, I understand plot, but that was pretty much what she was there for. And then to pull Scott back when he needed her 2 times. And
right.
It's a shame.
She doesn't actually have a storyline.
No.
Like
she's
her
the head of the company.
She's super competent. She's great at everything she does, and she's the only adult in the room, and that's her entire character. It's just
she's
like Scott's
the only
fumbling
adult
around.
in the room.
She flies in and goes, "All right, I guess I'm gonna fix this because he can't handle the time vortex, and he can't handle the final fight with Kang. Like, can't do any of this stuff on his own. Thank God I'm here." Is essentially her role, and she's a great fighter and she's good at the action. I just would like her to get to do something and to grow as a character.
It was like, well, if they kill off Paul Rudd's Ant-Man, then Cassie would have Hope to be her mentor and to teach her how to ant, and that would be a cool, to Wasp, I guess, or whatever they're gonna make Cassie into. But
Stature is her
Stinger,
comic book,
whichever one they go with. Yeah. Now I have a friend of mine said, well, you could look at it as the Wasp is Janet, because Janet was the Wasp, and he even went so far as to say there's always 2 Ant-Mans and there's always 2 Wasps once they got Janet back. And so there's that kind of like little double dynamic going with Hank and Scott and Hope and Janet.
I buy that,
but that still doesn't answer the question of like, why does Hope have nothing to do in this movie besides basically be ancillary?
Like even Hank has more to do, and he's just there being a senile old man who's obsessed with ants.
You can make the argument that like this movie is number one, this movie is a Kang movie. I mean, literally, you could have called it Kang Quantumania, and like I don't think many people would have maybe been confused. But then it's kind of secondarily Janet's movie. Like Michelle Pfeiffer gets so much to do in this movie that it kind of is like, okay, what are we doing with everybody else?
Now we should say though, Michelle Pfeiffer was fucking awesome in this movie.
Yes. I'm not saying she was bad, but it did feel weird that Hope had almost next to nothing to do besides what Haley mentioned, is like she's needling, like tell us. Oh, gotta save Scott again. Like it felt like she was the babysitter and like Faz said, the only adult in the room, that kind of like was super competent but also not used in a competent way. And I'm, by the way, again just a fan, not a wannabe film critic, but I love Evangeline Lilly in the roles that I've seen her in the past, and I just think she could have offered this movie something more, if given the opportunity. That's just my opinion. I'm really a fan of her acting, so that's just my biased opinion towards her in this film. But were there any other aspects of the film that maybe we haven't talked about yet that just personally were like highlights for you guys? Haley, did you have any highlights outside of kind of the major points we've already talked about?
I think I agree with you that the highlight is Jonathan Majors and watching him pretend with Janet, and then the seething anger that he has with Scott, and all the range of emotions that he portrayed between those two things. It was excellent.
I think so. Kang's obviously the best part of the movie, but I'm not going to repeat everything the whole time because Haley and I are always on the same wavelength with this kind of stuff.
Totally.
I'm going to focus on the emotional beats.
Yeah.
It's important to remember that Cassie is not Hank and Janet's granddaughter, at least not by blood. But
right.
She calls him Grandpa. They care about her like a daughter, and the way that they all connect, the Ant family, it's really nice. You guys will remember from my Thor feelings that even if the storyline's not that tight, if there's a nice familial connection and there's real emotion at play, then it really draws me in.
Yeah.
And they really got that with the whole family. Like Hope didn't have much to do, but she still felt like Cassie's mom. And she had to be because they didn't have Cassie's mom in the movie.
Right.
Paul Rudd felt like Cassie's dad. Hank and Janet were concerned grandparents. They all felt like one familial unit, and I loved that.
Yeah.
The other thing I loved was just how aggressively Star Wars this was, right down to meeting our old friend Lando Calrissian, who actually is working for the Empire now and sells them out midway through.
Bill Murray,
and
Lando
he's so
Calrissian,
creepy
amazing.
and so one of my highlights was, I think what I'm noticing more and more, and maybe it's the husband, the father in me, that I just notice these things in movies, but a lot of the recent shows and films have been centered around this idea of family. And Faz just said this, that this movie really creates this this somewhat nuclear, but also like kind of surrogate family for Cassie. And she's a big part of this film. It's the biggest part she's had yet, and because she actually gets to like be a part of the action. And Scott is really trying to find out like how he can be a dad, but also let her be her, because she is gifted and special in all of her different ways. There, in Miss Marvel, family is a huge aspect of that movie. I still think Miss Marvel is the best film, best Disney MCU property that has handled the topic of family. And we see it in Love and Thunder, that surrogate family that Thor kind of patches together from friends and loved ones. And then with love at the end, there's a lot of family vibes throughout, the recent MCU phases. And I really enjoyed that because it resonates with me personally. I really liked it in this film. Also, just on a kind of a cool factor, when Scott goes giant, and he goes giant more than he's ever done before, I loved that they kind of treated him like a kaiju monster. And there was this like thought of like he's so big, they're shooting tanks at him, they're shooting guns at him, and he just keeps walking through everything. I loved the kind of the scope that you get to do with a character like Ant-Man, because he has range, he can do so much. And the times where he and Cassie are kind of going through how to fight, and how to shrink small, go big, that I loved the fight scenes, because again, Ant-Man's a versatile character. You can do a lot with him, and I feel like they did in those big action sequences.
Their shared love of citrus is the perfect family moment in the movie. After they're both big, and Cassie's like, I don't know, I feel like I want a lime, and Ant-Man's like, I always want orange slices, right? That's just something about citrus, guys, like just really nice. Yeah.
So we've all established that we really enjoyed the movie. Faz also mentioned that with this film, there's been kind of that thought of like, oh no, the MCU is over and all that kind of stuff, and the downfall of Disney's MCU has come. I don't really believe any of that, because this movie is going to make truckloads of money. It's not going to bomb. It hasn't. It's not a bomb. It's not a flop. It's just a good Marvel movie. It's just a fun time at the theater. So I think if you go in just wanting to have fun, you're gonna have fun. And I think the one thing we've hinted at but haven't talked about yet, and we'll kind of land our conversation about the movie here, those post-credit scenes. Two big ones. Usually we get a funny one and like a move the plot ahead, or recently it's been like two funny ones. We got two big move the plot ahead ones. So Faz and Haley, I wanted to kind of hand this one over. Faz, do you want to explain maybe what the first credit scene was?
So the first post-credit scene is three different Kangs. This is Pharaoh Rama-Tut, this is Immortus, and the third one depends on who you ask. Might be Scarlet Centurion, might be a new Kang. who are the leaders of the Council of Kang, discussing what to do now that the exiled one has been quote unquote killed. Everybody knows he's coming back. There's no way they're getting rid of Kang the Conqueror this early, but they think he's gone anyway. So they discuss what they're going to do next. We had to call together the council. Who did you call? All of us. And it cuts to directly from the comics, a scene of thousands of Kangs in an amphitheater getting absolutely fired up to listen to their 3 lead Kangs walk them through how they're going to Kang over the whole Kangverse. And it's freaking awesome.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that was huge. I and Haley, I would love your thoughts on this one as well. There was a moment where I noticed Rama Tut first. And I was like, holy shit, we're doing this. Like, I didn't expect a scene like that yet. I thought maybe in Loki season 2, we'll get something where we see multiple Kangs at one point. And I just turned to my wife. I'm like, my wife does not care. Like, she just knows Jonathan Majors is cool. And she just knows that, you know, she's going to go see all these movies. And I was like, babe, it's Rama Tut. It's Immortus. It's Scarlet Centurion. She's like, don't know who any of those guys are. So I was
I'm
like,
happy, you're happy.
I'm happy, you're happy. And it's a little
I love
sad.
ants, and I love that you love them, honey.
Is that what Cynthia says to you?
No, that's what Janet Van Dyne says to Hank Pym when she goes, he goes, I just love ants. And she pats him on the head and goes, and I love that you love them, honey. And then he saves them all like a badass. Michael Douglas was awesome. Anyway, sorry to hijack
To
your
have your memory, Faz, would be just a treat. So I loved that all the different versions of Kang, we see them and we're like, oh, the scope gets bigger. Mm-hmm. And there's a storyline between the variants of Kang that is unfolding here. Haley, what did you think of that mid credit scene?
I was kind of like you, like, they're doing this already. That's great. But I think it's to play into the ending where Scott's like, you know, bebopping down the street and he's like, oh, that was bad. Something's coming. No, it's probably fine. It's not fine. And something is coming and it is bad.
It is going to be very bad. And so that the post credit scene, Haley, do you want to tell listeners what we got, the very, very timely post credit scene we got at the end?
Yes, I do. So we go into like the late 1800s looking, early 1900s, and it's people with their bustle skirts, and there's somebody on the stage talking about the future and la 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 la. And you're like, okay. And then we pan over and it's flipping Mobius and Loki, and they're dressed in this garb to match everybody, and they're staring at the stage, and I'm like, okay, what? And then you go to the stage and it's flipping Kang as Victor Timely.
I am so beyond stoked.
I was like, I turned to my husband, I was like, what? And of course he's like, Kim, like, he doesn't know. He doesn't care. He's just happy to be there.
Honey, I'm happy. You're happy.
He's like, oh, was that Jonathan Majors again? That's it.
Yeah.
His hair looks weird.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
So, like Haley said, we are getting another variant of Kang teased for the upcoming Loki season 2, Victor Timely, who is another time traveling Kang who goes back to start Timely Industries in Timely, Wisconsin, which I feel like Wisconsin was referenced in the first season of Loki.
It was. They went to Oshkosh.
Yeah, okay. So a world famous Oshkosh, of course. So we're going back in time with Loki and Mobius, and we're going to encounter Kang. And also Loki kind of references that this is a very dangerous version of Kang they're about to encounter. So I mean, on the first glance, Victor Timely doesn't really look that dangerous, but I'm sure in Loki season 2 we're going to learn a lot more about this variant of Kang. And when we do our episode by episode breakdown of Loki later on this summer, which I know Faz is super excited about, we're going to learn a lot more about Kang. One question for you, friends, before we get out of here: in Loki season 2, will we see more than one version of Kang throughout, or is Victor Timely going to be like the big bad?
I was just going to say, I bet we're going to get 3 or 4 Kangs.
Definitely
I
multi-Kangs.
think we're gonna hunt some down. I think he's gonna kill some. A few of them are gonna get away because the Kangs have to start winning. Otherwise, all those normal MCU fans will say he's not scary because he keeps almost killing people. So he's gonna do some cool stuff.
I interpreted that scene as Loki thinks that's not a different Kang, but the same Kang, but kind of different. So he's only thinking of He Who Remains because that's the only. I bet this is the first episode or something, or and because Mobius says, "I thought you said he was dangerous." Well, Loki, as far as we know, has only met one of them, and he is scared by him because he was like, "Holy shit, you did all of that." And so that's what I interpreted that scene as to be. But I definitely think we're getting more than one Kang.
So our over under on Kangs is probably at least got to be set at 3. I'll go 3, over.
Magic number.
I think Loki season 2 is going to be very important, and we've even heard from Tom Hiddleston, like as he's done interviews, like this is going to be an important aspect of the multiverse saga. And like seriously, like who doesn't want more Loki in their life? Tom Hiddleston's amazing. And I'm very ready to run it back with him.
We just need more alligator Loki in our lives. That's the only thing that we're missing.
I do want to see alligator Loki again, please.
Last episode, Faz and I pitched a I Am Groot style alligator Loki show, and that needs to
longer.
Right freaking now. So friends, final thoughts about Quantumania? Anything that we've left out that you feel like we just got to mention here?
You have to rate it out of 10, Ryan.
Oh yes. Let's do 1 out of 10. Sure. Faz,
you give it 1 out of 10. Oh my god.
No. We're rating it 1.
Oh, okay. 1 to 10.
1 through 10. Yes, but it's better. A much better way to say that.
I will go first. And initially out of the theater, I thought it was an 8.5. I would walk it back to a 7.58. Now, for listeners wondering, my average MCU rating is around a 7. So it's a little better than average for me. I thought Thor: Love and Thunder was at 10. So you can either agree with me entirely on everything or you can think that I'm terrible.
That's
I thought Avengers
the Faz Guardian for all your
send me your hate mail. It's fine. Just pay for our
unless
Patreon
you're listener Prime, and then
mail.
you have a direct contact to us. So.
That's true. You can have Ryan's cell phone number, maybe.
You cannot actually. You cannot.
But yeah, 7.5 to 8 out of 10 for me. Better than average MCU. If I was to look at my list, I want to say I have it currently around 15 out of 31.
Okay, so it's middle of the road to good.
But I'm really excited for what it sets up. It was perfect for what it needed to be.
Right. It is funny how people were like, throughout the last phase, we're like, nothing's connected. And now it's like, everything's too connected. It's like, you people.
Why isn't it a standalone movie? It's like, you just complained about 5 standalone movies.
Good grief. Haley, what would you rank it 1 through 10, 10 being the highest?
I'll give it a 7 as an average good entry to the MCU.
Yeah.
It'd probably be lower middle half of my rankings of all 31 movies.
Have you guys actually ranked them?
I have a tier list.
Oh my gosh, we should do that.
I do not.
So, as podcast listeners will know, I'm rewatching the MCU while treadmilling. So I'm halfway through phase 3 now, and I'm basically moving my list around as I'm watching it, this time all in a row, because I can compare apples to apples when I've watched Homecoming and then Ragnarok back to back, right?
Yeah.
So what's your current number 1?
So number 1 and 2 are Endgame and Infinity War.
No.
And then number 3 and 4 are Love and Thunder and Ragnarok, because I'm a Thor shill, and I'm perfectly happy to admit that. It's not an objective list at all. Like Thor.
I don't think
Thor the Dark World is like
objective.
Dark World's like 9th for me, which pisses people off when they see the list. But
I like the Dark World.
It's good, but it's objectively not the 9th best MCU movie. I'm very happy.
That is correct.
And if anybody wants to know our thoughts on Thor: The Dark World, you should go listen to the Thor: The Dark World commentary.
Ryan's birthday spectacular.
Right? Yes, it was Ryan. I asked for one thing. I literally in real life, I did not have a birthday party. Instead, my birthday party was watching Thor: The Dark World with Faz and Will, and we did a commentary on it. If you would like 2 hours of fun, that is a good episode to go check out. But
it was worthwhile to listen to.
Oh, I'm so glad at least one person listened to it. My ranking of, this movie was a fun adventure, kind of spacey superhero movie that I really needed at the time it came out. I needed to go to a theater and laugh. I needed to, be taken on a wild ride adventure. So I'm going to give it a 7.5. I'm with Faz on this one. I think it's good. It's a good entry to the Marvel universe. I will rewatch this movie. Some Marvel movies, I was like, okay, it's good, but will I ever watch this again? And so something can be good for me, and I never watched it again. Like, I thought the Robert Pattinson, the Batman movie was good. I'm probably never going to rewatch that movie though, because it just it's not something I want to commit 3 hours to. But Quantumania was the other side of that, where it was a good film. I enjoyed it, and I'll probably watch it again because I like Paul Rudd. I'm falling more and more in love with Jonathan Majors. Even though Evangeline Lilly was underserved, I still love her. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. 7.5. But friends, that brings us to the end of our review of Quantumania. What did you think of Quantumania? Let us know at Mighty Thor Podcast on Instagram. You can also become a member of the Thor Corps, and you can maybe become Listener Prime if that spot hasn't been taken yet. If it hasn't been taken yet, go get it, everybody. Come on. We're unlike Kang. We don't have unlimited time here. And so Hayley, tell us what's going on source pages before we hop out of here. What are you guys doing next?
Gosh. We are being super crazy, and we're going to start reading all of Secret Wars, including all of the tie-ins. And
holy crap.
Yeah, because that's how it's going. So for the next 2 weeks, we'll be reading, we're starting with issue 0. And so if you want to know what we're reading and you want to follow along, that's on our socials, and we're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And so our podcast is that we read novels and comics as source material and inspiration for upcoming geeky movies and TV shows, and it's a lot of fun, and Brian V. Klein and I have a blast doing it. So after 2 weeks of source pages of Secret Wars, we're going to do a week for Shazam Fury of the Gods. So we cover all the things: Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Dune, sci-fi stuff, whatever we kind of feel like.
And you guys did a great multi-part primer for Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yes, and we'll probably do that since we just started in 2021. We haven't done this for a lot of our stalwart characters like Scott Lang, and so coming up for the Guardians movie, we'll probably do a multi-week one for them as well, just because we've never gotten to explore those characters in a meaningful way on our podcast. So yeah, it's going to be a fun year, and if they keep pushing properties back, we'll have more time to do stuff like that, which I really like.
Yeah, I love that you guys had kind of room to breathe with Ant-Man and the Wasp, because it got me more excited about it. Instead of just having one episode primers, it was oh, okay, this one's about MODOK, and this one's about Scott and Cassie, and this one's about, this one's about Kang. It was good. It was good to actually have some time with it. But looking forward to everything you got going. You guys also have a review of Quantumania up that people can check out. But yeah, everybody, go check out source pages. Good stuff. You can also follow them. Yes.
And we're doing a review contest right now. So if you rate us 5 stars and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, you'll be entered in a chance to win the book that Scott Lang reads in the movie. Look out for the little guy, because Disney's actually making the book and producing it, and it's going to come out in September. So
oh my goodness.
So give us a review. We're doing that through the end of March.
That is amazing. Everybody go do that. You should already rate our friends 5 stars and give them a glowing review. But this way, you can potentially get something in the mail that was actually in one of the movies. That's a fantastic use of your time. Faz, do we have anything else for our amazing, mighty listeners?
I think we're all caught up. Everybody knows where you and I are. We're here too often to plug our own stuff. So
yeah, that'd be weird for us to plug our own stuff.
Someone become Listener Prime, because we talk about it all the time, and it'd be very fun.
So, I mean, seriously, it has to happen. So everybody, until next time, until we see you next week for the first installment of the Simonson saga, where we are going to be talking all about your favorite hammer wielding Corbinite, Beta Ray Bill, his first appearance, and Walt Simonson taking over the reins of Thor. Until we see you then for Simonson saga number 1. We encourage you to do one thing, and that is, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, you have to stay worthy.
All right, listeners, we realized we forgot 2 very important things. One ginormous head of a thing.
It's been a long day.
Our favorite, MODOK. Love him or hate him. Love how he looks. Hate how he looks. He looks like a ridiculous comics version of MODOK. He was never going to look pretty.
Like, how are you going to do that in a movie?
Right? Like, how can you complain?
It was great.
It was so funny, and his death scene was amazing. What did you guys think?
Redemption for Darren Cross.
I'm an Avenger. I'm an Avenger now.
Scott, you were like you're like a brother to me. What? I am. Touches his face. Okay. Yes. I'm like a brother to you.
I died an Avenger.
No one's gonna know. They're down in the quantum realm. It's fine. What happens in the quantum realm stays in the quantum realm.
I'm just hoping that some other variant MODOK comments later because of some weird MODOK mind sharing. Like, so I hear I'm an Avenger now. What do you guys think about that down the road?
Oh, that's kind of a deal we made with a dying MODOK. That doesn't like carry over.
It was that MODOK, not all MODOKs.
Yeah, it's not. It's
not more MODOK. Yeah.
There was also another moment that we forgot to mention, and I'm not gonna lie, a little bit of egg on my face for forgetting this part. The clear reference to Thor in the previews. I think it was because I saw this in the clips leading up to it. I got really like familiar with the line, and I thought it was really great when Kang is like, "So you're an Avenger? Are you the one with the hammer?" And Scott's like, "Nope, that was Thor." But we get mistaken for each other all the time, similar body types and stuff. I loved that line so much. I may have laughed a little too loud in the theater. Made the people in front of me really uncomfortable. But I'm a Thor guy. Like I'm not.
If they weren't laughing at it, they have no soul. So.
Oh my.
Yeah. I don't know.
HAYLEY HOBBS coming in hot with that one.
It was hilarious.
It was a great line.
Any Paul Rudd, references to anybody else in the world looking like Chris Hemsworth is always going to be funny.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I agree. And Paul Rudd's like the perfect person to make that joke funny. Because like he's goofy enough that you're like, does Paul Rudd actually believe that he looks like Chris Hemsworth? But anyway, guys, we had to add this in at the end. Apologies for forgetting this in the actual body of the episode. But yeah, I think Faz, double check, correct? Like, please double check my work. Have we forgotten anything else?
I mean, all the fun little cameos were fun, like all the random characters that I don't know any of the names of, like the Ooze guy and whatnot. They were all fun.
How many holes do you have?
I loved him.
The intro and the ending was really fun, showing Scott's anxiety because it was very real given COVID and how everybody's kind of feeling right now. That was a nice feeling. I think we've covered all the important bases. Listener Prime, if we missed anything, if you could shoot me an email, that'd be great. Yeah. My email is ryan.doze@mightythorpod.com.
That's not my email.
I would say we didn't talk a ton about Cassie, but this was not a Cassie-centric movie.
Don't worry, really. She'll be back when they do Young Avengers.
They announced they're not doing it, then they totally would never misdirect us like that, Ryan.
Yeah, because Kevin Feige the one that said we're never having an Avengers movie again.
Yeah, no more Avengers.
Avengers Secret Wars.
Just kidding. Gosh. Anyway, everybody. Kevin. Home Alone reference. Nice. So everybody. Thank you for sticking with us in this little post-credit scene we had. This post-credit scene. Fun. See, always pay attention to the post-credit scenes.
Yeah. Faz will return.
Faz will return. HAYLEY will return? Question mark.
HAYLEY,
yeah. Will you return
in Avengers Secret Wars?
Oh my gosh! So we'll see HAYLEY in a few years, everybody.
7 years from now, HAYLEY will be back.
God, that's too long.
Stay worthy and all that stuff. Bye.
Da 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 da. I only know the Dark World one. Da 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 da.
Oh, you do
Da,
do
da,
the
da.
Dark World thing. Oh,
That's because
shit.
that score slaps.
It score slaps. And Ryan, I post Thor all the time. I have
I know.
that music playing constantly. I can't get hours in my head when Dark World exists.